The greatest mistake you make every day happens in 5 seconds. Not 5 hours, not 5 days. 5 seconds. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you had a moment, a real moment where you knew exactly what you should do and you didn't do it? You felt it. That pull, that knowing, that voice inside that said, this is it. Go, speak up, start, walk away, step forward. And what did you do? You hesitated. You waited. You thought about it. You asked for more time. And in those 5 seconds, those small, silent, invisible 5 seconds, the opportunity passed. The door closed. The future you could have had stayed a fantasy. Here's what nobody tells you. Your entire life is not shaped by your 5-year plan. It's shaped by your 5-second decisions. The decision to get up or hit snooze. The decision to speak or stay silent. The decision to act or hesitate. The decision to believe you're worthy or to let doubt win. In this message, we're going to walk through 5 powerful truths, 5 parts, about the 5-second window that separates the life you have from the life you were meant to live. Not theory, not motivation, truth. Because here's what I know. You don't need more time. You don't need more money. You don't need more luck. What you need is the courage to decide in 5 seconds that you're done waiting. Let me tell you a secret most people never figure out. Every big change in your life starts before you ever take action. It starts with a decision so small, so fast, you barely notice you made it. You see, we think transformation happens in grand moments, the big leap, the dramatic quit, the bold announcement. But it doesn't. It happens in the 5-second window between thinking and doing, between wanting and moving, between who you were and who you're about to become. Jim Rohn said something that struck me like lightning when I first heard it. He said, if you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. Think about that. A tree is stuck, rooted. It has no choice where it stands, what weather it faces, what soil it's given. But you have a choice. Every 5 seconds you have a choice, to move or to stay, to grow or to wither. But here's the problem. Most people have trained themselves to ignore the 5-second window. They practice hesitation so long, it feels like wisdom. They call it being careful. They call it thinking it through. They call it waiting for the right time. But let me be honest with you. Waiting is not wisdom. Waiting is a habit. And for most people, it's the habit that destroys their life. Because while you're waiting, someone else is deciding. While you're thinking, someone else is moving. While you're planning, someone else is building. And 5 years from now, you'll look back and realize it wasn't the big obstacles that stopped you. It was the 5 seconds you kept giving away. Every single day, you face dozens of these windows. The alarm goes off. 5 seconds. Get up or stay down. A difficult conversation needs to happen. 5 seconds. Speak or suppress. An idea flashes in your mind. 5 seconds. Act or ignore. A chance to learn, to stretch, to risk, to grow. 5 seconds. Take it or let it die. And here's what's fascinating. Your brain knows the difference. When you hesitate, your brain sends a signal. It says, this is dangerous. This is uncertain. Protect yourself. And so you freeze. You retreat. You go back to what's familiar. But when you decide, in 5 seconds, your brain shifts. It says, this person acts. This person moves. This person is not stuck. And over time, that decision rewires everything. Your confidence, your identity, your future. So, the first truth is this. The decision before the decision is everything. Before you ever change your job, your body, your income, your relationships, you must first decide that you are the kind of person who decides quickly, who acts boldly, who doesn't let 5 seconds steal 5 years. Because here's the truth. You don't get your goals by chasing them directly. You get them by growing into the kind of person who can attract them. And that growth starts in 5 seconds. Let's keep going. Now, let me explain something about the window itself. The 5-second window is real. It's not a metaphor. It's a moment in your brain where possibility lives, before fear moves in and takes the lease. See, when an opportunity appears, when an idea strikes, when a challenge rises. Your mind gives you a brief window of courage, a flash of clarity, a moment where you see what you could do, who you could be, how you could respond. But that window closes fast, and when it closes, doubt moves in. Excuses move in. Comfort moves in. Excuses move in. Comfort moves in. And suddenly, what felt possible feels impossible. What felt bold feels foolish. What felt like your moment feels like someone else's. Jim Rohn taught me something I'll never forget. He said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. But here's what he didn't always say out loud. That bridge is built one plank at a time, and every plank is a 5-second decision. You don't build discipline in a day. You build it in seconds. In the second you choose the gym over the couch, the second you choose the book over the scroll, the second you choose the hard conversation over the comfortable silence. Most people think discipline is about suffering, about grinding, about willpower. It's not. Discipline is simply deciding faster than your doubts. It's acting before the window closes. It's moving while the courage is still warm. Think about it. When you hesitate, what are you actually doing? You're negotiating with your fear. You're saying, maybe later, maybe tomorrow, maybe when I'm ready. But ready is a lie. Ready is a story you tell yourself to stay safe. And safe is just another word for stuck. The 5-second window doesn't ask if you're ready. It asks if you're willing. Willing to be uncomfortable. Willing to be uncertain. Willing to look foolish. Willing to fail forward. Because the person who is willing, not ready, but willing, is the person who wins. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine two people. Same background. Same education. Same opportunity. Same 5-second window. One person sees the window and thinks, what if I'm wrong? What if I fail? What will people say? And the window closes. The other person sees the window and thinks, what if this works? What if I grow? What if this is the moment everything changes? And they move. They speak. They start. They decide. 5 years later, those two people live in completely different worlds. Not because one was smarter, not because one was luckier, but because one understood the window and the other let it close. Here's what's powerful. The window never stops appearing. It shows up every morning, every conversation, every challenge, every dream. It's always there. The question is never, will I get another chance? The question is, will I take this one? Because success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And the simplest discipline of all? Decide in 5 seconds. Move before the doubt arrives. Act while the vision is still clear. Let's move forward. Now I need to be real with you. Because if I don't tell you the cost, you won't feel the urgency. And if you don't feel the urgency, you'll keep giving away your 5 seconds like they don't matter. But they matter. More than you know. Hesitation has a cost. And that cost is compound interest, but in reverse. Every 5 seconds you give away doesn't just cost you that moment. It costs you the habit of decisiveness. It costs you the identity of someone who acts. It costs you the momentum that turns small wins into massive results. Jim Rohn said, success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. Hesitation is an error in judgment. And when you repeat it daily, weekly, yearly, it becomes your default setting. You don't even realize you're doing it anymore. You think you're being thoughtful, but you're really being passive. You think you're being safe, but you're really being small. And here's the dangerous part. Doubt doesn't need proof. It just needs a little room. One hesitation. One delay. One, I'll do it later. And suddenly doubt has evidence. It says, see, you didn't act. You don't have what it takes. You're not that kind of person. And once doubt has evidence, it becomes belief. And once it becomes belief, it becomes identity. And identity is the governor on your life. It sets the speed limit. It decides what's possible. It determines what you'll attempt, what you'll risk, what you'll build. You cannot outperform your self-image. You cannot draw more from life than you first believe you deserve. And every 5-second hesitation is a vote for the old you, the stuck you, the scared you, the small you. But here's what I want you to understand. This isn't about shame. It's about redemption. You can start again. You can change direction. You can break the cycle. Because the past is not equal to the future unless you live there. The past is a great teacher, but a terrible master. Learn from it, but don't live in it. Every morning, the window opens again. Every conversation, the window opens again. Every idea, every opportunity, every challenge, the window opens. Fresh, new, waiting for you to decide differently this time. So the question isn't, how many times have I hesitated? The question is, what will I do with the next 5 seconds? Because that next 5 seconds is all you ever have. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, just this moment, this window, this choice. And when you choose to move, when you choose to speak, to start, to risk, to grow, something powerful happens. You don't just change your action. You change your story. You change your trajectory. You change who you're becoming. Let's continue this journey. Here's where it gets profound. The 5-second decision isn't just about action. It's about identity. Every time you decide quickly and move boldly, you send a message to yourself. A message that says, I am someone who acts. I am someone who decides. I am someone who doesn't wait for permission. And over time, those messages stack. They compound. They build a new identity, an identity of momentum, an identity of courage, an identity of someone who creates their future instead of reacting to it. Jim Rohn said, success is something you attract by the person you become. Think about that. You don't chase success. You become the kind of person success is drawn to. And how do you become that person? Not in 5 years, not in 5 months, in 5 seconds. One decision at a time, one action at a time, one identity building moment at a time. Most people try to change their life by changing their circumstances. They want a new job, a new relationship, a new body, a new bank account. But they skip the most important change. The change inside. The change of who they believe themselves to be. Because here's the truth. You don't become what you want. You become what you believe. And every 5-second decision is a belief in motion. It's you saying, I believe I'm capable. I believe I'm worthy. I believe I'm worthy. I believe this moment matters. When you hesitate, you reinforce the old identity. The identity of doubt. The identity of delay. The identity of not yet, not me, not now. But when you decide, when you move in that 5-second window, you start rewriting the script. You start becoming someone new, someone stronger, someone clearer, someone who doesn't need the world to believe in them because they've already decided to believe in themselves. Let me ask you something. Who is the person you're becoming? Not the person you were, not the person your past created, the person you're building right now, one 5-second decision at a time. Are they decisive? Are they courageous? Are they disciplined? Do they act when the window opens? Do they move when the moment calls? Because that person isn't waiting for you in the future. That person is created in the next 5 seconds. In the decision you're about to make. In the action you're about to take. In the identity you're about to claim. You must constantly ask yourself, who am I becoming? If you're becoming someone worth believing, you won't have time to dwell in self-doubt. You won't have time to hesitate. You'll be too busy building, too busy growing, too busy becoming. The major key to your better future is you. And the self-image you carry into every 5-second window. Let's keep going. You're just getting started. Now, let me tie this all together with something practical, something you can use today, tomorrow, every day. The 5-second decision by itself seems small, insignificant, almost invisible. One decision, 5 seconds. What could that possibly change? But here's what most people miss. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the fundamentals. And the most fundamental skill of all, the ability to decide and move. Jim Rohn said, don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And the way you get better, the way you get stronger, faster, more decisive, is by practicing the 5-second decision over and over, day after day, until it becomes automatic, until hesitation feels foreign, until action feels natural. Think of it like a muscle. The first time you decide in 5 seconds, it feels hard, uncomfortable, risky. Your brain resists, your body hesitates, your emotions scream, wait. But the second time, a little easier. The 10th time, easier still. The 100th time, it's who you are. It's not a technique anymore. It's your identity. It's your default. It's the way you move through the world. And here's the beautiful part. When you stack 5-second decisions, you create momentum. And momentum is unstoppable. It carries you through doubt. It carries you through fear. It carries you through fear. It carries you through setbacks. The more you act, the stronger your confidence becomes. The stronger your self-image grows, the easier it becomes to act again. It's a cycle. A virtuous cycle. A life-changing cycle. Small hinges swing big doors. You don't need to conquer the world before noon. You just need to decide faster than your doubts. You just need to move while the window is open. You just need to prove to yourself, one 5-second decision at a time, that you are not stuck. You are not finished. You are becoming. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. And the most valuable self-education you can pursue? Learning to master your 5-second window. Learning to decide before doubt. Learning to move before fear. Learning to become the person who doesn't hesitate when life calls. So let me ask you, what one 5-second decision can you make right now? Today, before this video ends. Before the sun goes down. Before you go to bed. Maybe it's sending that message, making that call, starting that project, ending that habit, saying that truth, taking that step. Whatever it is, you already know what it is. You felt it the moment I asked. That pull, that knowing, that 5-second window. What will you do with it? Let me leave you with this. Your life is not determined by your past. It's not determined by your circumstances. It's not determined by your education, your background, or your bank account. Your life is determined by your decisions, and the most important decisions you will ever make happen in 5 seconds. The decision to believe, the decision to act, the decision to grow, the decision to become, the decision to stop waiting and start building. You are the key, not someone else, not someday, not when you're ready. You, right now. In the next 5 seconds. If someone else can do it, you can do it. And if no one else has done it, you can be the first. Your doubt does not define you. Your decision does. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because if you work hard on your job, you can make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. A fortune of confidence. A fortune of momentum. A fortune of becoming. The day you truly believe in yourself is the day everything begins to change. And that day starts with one 5-second decision. So decide, move, become. The window is open. The future is waiting. And you are the one you've been waiting for. Let's go.